Okay, hi everybody. So it's Chris Polaha coming to you. We're not live, but we're doing a little recorded thing for the Polaha Chautauqua tonight because I'm here at my friend Danny Virtue's ranch. He's got this beautiful place and he's got a very special friend named Casey, who's an awesome dude who, when he told me and I learned about his story, I was so inspired. And this week we were talking about self-control. And I'm still going to do a live thing later and we'll go back over the whole concept of it. But I really wanted you guys to hear both Danny's story and Casey's story regarding self-control because I think they're amazing. So without further ado, I'm going to let Danny introduce Casey, and then I'm going to let Casey tell his story to you guys because it's so amazing. Go ahead, Danny.
Hi, guys. Well, my buddy Casey Wright, I've known him quite a while now. He started off on the wrong foot, 6 months old. He got diagnosed with brain cancer. He was in the hospital in and out for 20 years, but steady for 13 years. He's had several brain operations. He's had a stroke. He's had aneurysms. He's been paralyzed. He was completely paralyzed at one time where he couldn't even talk and do anything. That was only a few years back. He now has had operations on his leg for rehabilitation. He's working on his arm. He lives here at the ranch with his family. We love him, and we love his family, and he's a very positive young man, and he brings a lot of good to everyone around him. Casey is now going to go out in the world and help other people. He's done a play called Casey and the Octopus, which is about hope and love, and we're doing a documentary on him that will be released soon, and he's with the Danny Virtue Foundation here at the ranch. And I can't say enough good things about him. He's going to wake up a lot of people, and he's going to help a lot of young people get through some of their struggles. This is Casey Wright.
Hi guys, well, I'm so privileged and honored to meet Kristoffer and to be a part of your show.
Thank you for being here, Casey. Can't be happier. So come a little closer. So I'm going to address my questions to the camera.
Yes.
So you go ahead and answer your questions to the camera. But I'll probably also do this. So this week we're talking about self-control. But overall, we've been talking about what it means to have sort of the full expression of the human experience. What does it mean to really be alive?
Yeah.
And to live a life that's full of purpose. And so there's this whole thing in the Christian narrative where Jesus talks about heaven on earth, where he says heaven is at hand. And I don't think you have to be a Christian at all to understand what I'm talking about, which is how do we live a life where we're not sort of like hoping for something amazing when we die, but where it's literally right here.
Yeah.
And where we have a taste of heaven and where we have experiences and moments and relationships that feel like we are in heaven. And when Danny was telling me your story, the courage, the bravery, the sheer grit, just your entire existence has been exactly what it is that I've been trying to share with these people. And I think your story is going to be so encouraging. So like Danny said, I can't wait for the people who know me to meet you now.
Yeah.
Because I think people are struggling right now.
Definitely.
And they're going through really hard things.
Yeah, definitely.
And I think that you're one of those people who's gone out way ahead of the rest of us. And you've done some pretty incredible things, and you're still standing, and you're here to say, hey, you can do it too.
Definitely.
So go ahead and just tell folks your story.
Well, back when I was 6 months old, I was diagnosed with a brain tumor, which unfortunately took the vision in my left eye and restricted the vision in my right side of my vision. So I've gone through 2.5 years of chemotherapy, multiple surgeries, beat it at 13. Then 10 days after that, I fell down and had a stroke, completely paralyzed, couldn't speak, couldn't move, couldn't do anything for myself. And then fast forward to 2 years ago, I went to my doctor and they did a scan of my brain and it showed that I had an aneurysm, which is extremely rare in children. So our local BC Children's Hospital couldn't do anything for me, so I had to be bumped to what I call the scary adult hospital. They did surgery on me a couple years ago. I've got 10 pieces of titanium in my head. So anyways, what Kristoffer was asking, what kind of self-control I have. Whenever the doctors deliver bad news and all that, instead of me getting very emotional, getting upset, self-doubting myself, I just say, okay, explain to me what this ailment is, what are my treatment options, and then I think about it for a bit, and then I basically go ahead with all the treatments and all the stuff that these doctors have recommended. So instead of me or you guys getting upset about very small little things, I always take it with a grain of salt and a grain of sugar, and just face it head on. And so what my big thing is, instead of letting it scare me and put me at an awkward position or whatever, I just face it head on and just deal with it and then move on to some bigger and brighter things.
I have a question for you. Do you have goals?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, what are, like, in 10 years, what do you see yourself doing? And what did you see yourself do? Like, what did you, when you were 13 and going through and just like in the hot fire of this thing?
Yeah.
What did you see yourself doing in 10 years? What do you see yourself doing in 10 years from now? What are your goals?
Well, that's interesting. I plan on getting a job, I don't know where, to what my abilities are. Potentially having a relationship, and just living the best life I can have.
Yeah.
Without minimal pain.
Yeah. Are you in pain? Do you live in pain?
A little bit, but it's manageable.
Okay. So it's amazing, the self-control, the self-discipline, the willpower to undergo all of those surgeries, like something like 15 surgeries. You just had one on your leg where your leg is starting to grow, right? And the Achilles, your tendons were tight, so they went in, they cut your Achilles tendons, stretched them out. And now you're 6 months, you're 4 months down of 6 months being in a brace, right? Look at this guy, his Lego brace. So that's incredible. So that's one aspect of it. That's one aspect of having self-control. But then the other thing that's amazing about you is you've been to the Great Wall of China.
Definitely.
You jumped out of an airplane last year. You are an honorary
Staff Sergeant Major.
Staff Sergeant Major. You have this awesome bright red Canadian uniform, military proper uniform.
Yeah.
You got to be the sergeant of the Vancouver Police for the day.
Yeah.
Which, if all you know, that's what I'm doing on TV right now. So this guy would have been my boss for a day. And you wrote and you've started a one-man play called Casey and the Octopus.
Yeah.
And the octopus being the
brain tumor.
The brain tumor that was trying to take over your brain.
Yeah.
And it got rave reviews. And I think that people, I would be interested to know, you said you wanted a job. That would be a cool job to take that on tour.
Yeah.
And just show that at different places throughout the country, Canada and America.
Definitely.
So you're doing things that are extraordinary, that like anybody, any kid, regardless of having undergone, like just the fact that, like any kid to say, yeah, I did a one-act play, but you're a kid who's undergone so much trauma that you've overcome that. And so that to me speaks volumes about self-control.
Yeah.
Because it's your positive attitude and this sort of like drive that you have. You want to share it with the folks, like what kind of, like what that was like when you made these decisions? Where you're like, yeah, let's do this.
Well, to me, undergoing all these heavy medical issues, it's really about, hey, would you rather be healthy and thriving or 6 feet underneath the ground. Like, it's just the situation and how do we deal with it. I mean, like, for all these big medical issues that I've had, there's really only two choices. Go and get the treatment that you need or want, or refuse that all and potentially not live much longer. For me, I grab life by the clothes and I just go do it. So I'm going to get all the necessary treatments that I need. Obviously, I've been undergoing various different treatments with surgery and therapy and different things like that. And so I say, okay, let's go do this treatment or do that or whatever. And I just live life to the fullest.
Yeah. I bet what's also cool about your life is that your life brings out the best in the people around you.
Definitely.
Like your brother, your sister, your dad, Danny here, your
my mom.
Like, I think the people around you, they meet you and they feel this incredible life force come out of you. And it makes all of us our best selves.
Yeah.
And so that must be a really cool, you must have a very cool, can I show people something?
Of course.
How old are you?
20.
20 years old. Can I show people how tall you are?
Yep.
So, 20 years old. How tall are you?
4 feet even.
4 feet even. So that perspective, all right, you want to hop back up? That perspective of life and being 4 feet tall at 20 years old, like, the reason I wanted people to see that was because your perspective of life has been different. And so you just must see things in a totally different color than everybody else.
Definitely.
And like when you see Danny being his best self, like you see your dad being, I mean, because we're all people and we're all, but when you show up, that raises up like everybody. So that must be kind of cool.
Definitely.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. You got something else you want to add, Danny?
Yeah, well, I will say that I've been in this movie and stunt business for about 45 years. And Casey's probably the toughest dude I've ever met. So that's just to start with. And plus, he brings warmth to this ranch. He brings warmth to a lot of people. We're doing our best to give back to the other kids and help everybody along. And when this COVID's over, look out. Casey Wright's coming to town doing a play and talking to your hospitals, talking to your cancer people. And, you know, he doesn't have to figure out what he's going to do when he grows up. He's already grown up and he's already doing what he does. So he's happening. And I love him, so I'm behind him all the way.
That's awesome. Any last words you want to say to folks?
Try not to give up on yourselves. You can do this. We're going to beat this whole COVID thing, and we're going to look so far into the future. Who knows what we're going to do? Just keep on trucking.
Keep on trucking. Check out Danny Virtue Foundation on Danny Virtue Foundation. DannyVirtueFoundation.org. Where they find it? www.org. Yeah, DannyVirtueFoundation.org.
I'm just learning how to work it now.
Yeah, me too.
I can ride a horse.
Casey, thank you so much. I would give you a handshake. I mean, I guess we've already completely helped you imagine, but you're amazing. You're a miracle. I'm so grateful that you spent some time with me tonight with the folks watching this, and thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. God bless you.
God bless you as well.